Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, and I've got to say I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Jazza Dickens himself. What's happening, Famalam? How's things?
Now then, Famalam. Staying in the islands at the minute. I stayed over here this weekend. I normally go back home to my family on the weekends, but I just thought I'd get a little bit of rest this weekend and get in a hotel.
Yeah, talk to you about that then. You've teamed up with Pete Taylor and his huge stable in Dublin. I mean, I've seen you sparring videos with Gary Cully and Sean McComb, who are both 6 feet, and then there's little Jazza Dickens running about there somewhere. I mean, ample sparring, great. I've seen the technique, your shadow boxing, the way I know how Pete trains and stuff like that. So what's it like being out there? Yeah,
it's really good. The standard out here, the technical standard, and when you're sparring, it's high level, really high level. Everything needs to be done properly. I like that. And the coach, when I was looking, I had great, first and foremost, I have to say, I had great years with Derry and George. Best time of my boxing life, you know. But George, he retired. I've moved here with Peter. I was looking for a coach who was going to be technical. I work hard, work my balls off every single day. So when he's a coach who's very technical, and Pete Taylor was the man. Everything that he does needs to be corrected, even if it's like nothing's perfect, you know. There's always something to work on, and I like that. So yeah, it's good. And when you're sparring with his lads, you see the difference. You know what I mean? You see how he's taught them, and how you see what he's teaching through his lads as well. So I could be sparring with Cully, and I'll see not only what Peter's saying, but how his fighters apply it in the ring. So it's really good for me.
Talk to me about that. And like I said to you, I mean, when I saw the Instagram post, the 3 of you sparring, it's like, forgive me for saying this, but you are the tiniest guy compared to them two. I mean, you're 5 foot something, and both of them are over 6 feet, man. What's it like to try and get past their jab then and past their long arms? Is it difficult?
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about for me right now, with Peter learning ways how to fight on the inside and how to fight on the outside. Don't necessarily have to, just because they're tall doesn't mean I have to go forward. You know what I mean? And because someone's small doesn't mean I have to go back. They're just like conventional rules. But Peter Taylor's a smart coach. He just doesn't go by the conventional style. He's always thinking and trying new things. So yeah, it's interesting. I was sparring with Gary last week, and I slipped on the inside, and I thought, how did he time me then? He just caught me on the top of the head. How did he time me then? And when I lifted my head back, I realised he needed me in the head. Because he's that tall, he needed me in the head, because when I slipped. I said after the spar, was that a knee? Did you hit me on the head with a knee, or did you time me? And he said, that was my knee.
Listen, there you go. That's MMA rules, mate. I don't know if you've got any
dirty fucker.
No, listen, that's brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Again, like, I want to go back to your fight back in August there with Kid Galahad. It was a fight that you and your team were confident you were going in there. Tony Bellew was confident you were going to win it, because you were in the form of your life, beating Leigh Wood, and you're beating somebody as tough as Ryan Walsh. Had you had time to look at that fight and reflect on the sort of like things that went wrong and things that went right? Have you had time to reflect on that? Have you watched the fight back?
Yes. No, I haven't watched the fight back. Seen the highlights of the fight. It hurt me. Sickens me to watch it, to be honest, Dan, but I have to watch it back just once. You know what I mean? And say, to get where I'm at with it, and before moving on, I had to face the truth. I did lose, so it's like what I have gathered from it is that I was so confident going in there. I didn't underestimate him in terms of not saying them the hardest I can, or sorry, I didn't underestimate him in terms of not giving him respect to saying wise, but I was so far confident. You know, the law of attraction and my mental place was just keep doing what you're doing, Jazz, and you'll win. You just keep doing what you're doing, you'll be world champion. That was my mind state, but you also need actions, don't you? And we seen in there that my actions didn't. He broke away in the fight when it comes to game plan wise. I didn't even watch him. I didn't watch him, man, in the build up to the fight, because I was so confident that I just had to keep doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? And do I regret it? No, because I was in a great place, and you can't complain, can you? You go into a fight, you've got no excuses. I give everything. I've got no excuses. I was in a great place, and he beat me, and he's best man of the night. That's that. But yeah, I would see what I would do in the future, how I can improve, how I am improving.
So right now for you, looking ahead to 2022 with Pete Taylor, new setup and all that, the goal again is to get a crack at a world title.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would carry on in a situation like that. Even when I boxed for the world title about 5 years ago, and the only reason why I would the only reason why I will carry on is to be world champion. I've won a British Commonwealth. No, we haven't, actually. I'm lying there. People wouldn't have even known there. Yeah, I'm a Commonwealth champion right now.
I wouldn't even know. I would have agreed with you as well.
Yeah, but in the going contract, I beat the current British Commonwealth and European champions. So, and I've held the English, British, and European titles. So there's nothing else for me to win. That's the only. It's pointless fighting to become the British champion again. It's pointless, you know what I mean? So it's just world titles for me, and I feel like I'm just below that level right now. I'm not below it in standard wise, because I feel I'm better than some of the fighters who are world champions. I'm fighting for world titles right now, but I'm just waiting for my shot right now to fight for the world title. The division's wide open, so yeah, I know I can be world champion, definitely.
Division is wide open because the landscape is changing all the time. We've seen Lara beat Warrington. Well, Warrington obviously gave up his title, but Lara beating Warrington was a big shock. And then obviously the confident you going into the Galahad fight, and then Kiko beating Galahad, and then Leigh Wood beating Kanzu, and then Neil Santa Cruz moving up now. So it might be the WBA super title for Conlon versus Wood. I mean, right now with Navarrete and all these guys still there as well, it's wide open, mate, like you said, and it's your opportunity can easily come. Who knows? Your opportunity can come easily in 2022. But I want to ask you is, how shocked were you with Galahad and Kiko Martinez? Were you as shocked as the rest of the boxing world?
Going by the Zelfa Barrett performance, I thought that was he could have got that. If it was in Spain, he definitely would have got it. I thought, that was my opinion personally. A lot of other people thought that Kiko should have won the fight against Zelfa, although Zelfa done himself proud, because that was a big step up, but people didn't give him the credit for it because he has had losses. But Kiko is a good fighter, really good fighter. He's proven himself time and time again. He just keeps going. He's the Duracell bunny, and he's going into the fight with Galahad. When I say I didn't give him a chance, in my mind, he was about 8-1. That's what I just said. He's about 8-1. But I thought, can he not win? No, I wouldn't say that he couldn't win. And but when I heard the decision, I was like, wow, that's a shock. That. And I also thought, go for him, because he's got nothing to prove, as he's won world titles and he's defended world titles, I think, and to go back in there, he's got nothing to prove. So good for him that he has got that hunger to keep coming back and doing what he's doing. Now he's the man. So yeah, good for him.
I mean, Kiko's fought. He's fighting Warrington again in the rematch, and a lot of people. When I'm looking back at the fight, it was a close fight, and a lot of people actually saying that Kiko won the first fight. So Warrington getting his shot at his old title again. It's, even though Kiko might be going on in years, it's not an easy fight for Warrington, is it?
No, definitely not. Definitely, I was supposed to fight Kiko the fight before. I fought on the undercard of the Warrington build when he fought Kiko last time. I think it was that one. Was it in Leeds?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I fought on the undercard, but the fight before it, I was supposed to fight Kiko for the European title. At the time, he got a shot. We both signed. We were 5 weeks away from the fight, and he'd signed to fight. He got a chance to fight Leo Santa Cruz for the world title, and then I got a chance to fight Rigondo for the world title. So we both went our own ways. So we didn't fight, and then the next time around, I was defending the British title, and Warrington was fighting Kiko on that bill. I didn't see the fight. Obviously, I was on before it. But apparently it was a close fight. Yeah. Apparently it was a close fight. But when he beat Kiko, that was a good win, that, because Kiko, he'd lost to Quigg and he'd lost to Frampton. I don't know who else he'd lost to, but that was a good win at the time. I remember thinking that's not an easy fight, that's to step up that. Because in my mind it was fresh that this was going to be a tough fight against Kiko Martinez for the European title, and then we didn't fight. So I can remember thinking that's not an easy fight there. So Warrington did get a good win over him at the time. Now the confidence has probably changed a lot. Warrington let's have it right, Warrington gave the fight up because he didn't want to fight. Give the IBF title because he didn't want to fight Galahad. That was why. You can't bullshit it. That was why I like Wellington. I like his dad's really tough fellas. But the truth is, they know, I know, the rest of the boxing world knows. He gave the belt up because he didn't want to fight as mandatory. He thought he was bigger than the belt. He gave the belt up, and he lost. He got knocked out to Lara. Then the rematch he drawed, and now he's fighting for the world title. You tell me when that happens, you lose. You vacate the belt, you lose the belt, you draw, and you get it. And now you're in a position to fight for the world title. Good for him that he's got a good team around, because the good team around him that he's got has got him this world title fight, and good for him for getting it. And I actually hope that he goes on to win it. But in that situation, it's a mad one. Boxing is a funny game, and it shows on it that not only the boxer, it depends on the team that the boxer's got, because there's many fighters, good fighters who don't get world title fights, and then there's fighters that couldn't form who do get world title fights because they make good business. And that's the situation he's in. Going into the fight though, does he have the confidence that he would have had if he was defending his belt against Kiko? I don't know. Kiko's going to be high on confidence now, isn't he? Why wouldn't he be? So it's a different type of fight. When he beat him last time, it was a great win. I think for Wellington personally to beat him this time will be even better win, because he's not going into the fight with the confidence that he did have when he beat him last time. But I do think he can beat him. I just think that Wellington should get back to being himself and stop thinking that he's a boxer, because he's not. He never has been a fighter. He's never been a technical boxer. He's never worked on the style he's trying to take on now is just through pure confidence. I just hope that he gets back to his fighting and doing what he does best, even as alpha, like proper scrappers, fighters. That's what's got him where they are, and I hope that he goes back to his old self and says, fuck this, let's just throw down and let's get it on and just be a scrapper like he always was. That's what's got him where he was. He's in that situation now, and he's a bit like people are calling forward Anthony Joshua. Just get back to being, just be nasty. Just get back to yourself. And I hope he can find himself in that way again. He's not what they were calling him, the pound for pound, this and that. And he just needs to get back to his fighting, because that's what's got him where he is. I've always known that from the sparring that we've done, me and Wellington together, that he's a fighter and he needs to get back to his fighting. So I think for him to be Kiko this time would be an amazing achievement for him.
Yeah, definitely, man. Kiko's on a high right now, and Wellington, obviously, he needs that confidence, but it seems like he's got that with his dad and stuff like that. The Sean O'Hagan, they'll be up for this. They'll be up for this Galahad fight, definitely, 100%. And for you though, when you with the frustration with getting your world title shot, losing to Galahad, but then Leigh Wood, what a fantastic opportunity for Leigh. He went in there, done his thing against Kanzu, somebody that you had already fought and beat in the Golden Contract. So he's obviously defending his title, and it looks like they're going to make it for the Super WBA title, as I think Leo Santa Cruz is going to move up to Super Feather. Yeah, Leigh Wood defending his title against Mick Conlan. Your quick analysis on that, and then I want to talk about, obviously, where do you fit in all this? Where does Jazza Dickens fit in all this? So quick breakdown of Leigh Wood and Conlan for me, please.
Yes, I think I am very, very happy and pleased for Leigh Wood because he deserves. He beat the number one. No one ever. He beat the man. No one was above that man, because obviously, is Santa Cruz. He's not going to defend it, is he? So he should be the super champion. Is it?
Super champion, yeah.
Super champion. He should be the super champion. So good for him if he gets that. I hope that he's awarded and he's upgraded before the fight actually happens. I hope he's not just fighting for it. I hope he actually is given the belt. I think the same thing happened years ago with Scott Quigg. I think he got upgraded to be the super champion without actually fighting for it or winning it. But I think that in this circumstance, Leigh deserves to be the world champion. Going into the fight with Conlan, I favour Leigh Woods, just for the reason that Conlan's, he's been a fight that he should have won. I don't think he's been, well, I know he hasn't been in a fight where he has lost, and he's had to come through a really hard fight, and he's had to, a real fight, I call it, and it's called a real fight. And then, has he been in a real fight yet, where he's he's supposed to lose, and he has to find a way to win. He hasn't been in that type of fight yet, but I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not saying I don't want him to win. I'm saying I do favour Leigh Wood just for the experience that he's picked up over the last few years, and give him his credit. He's picked himself off the floor when he's had to. You know what I mean? I know personally when I've been in there with him, hurting him, and going in for the finish, and he had a point to prove. He weren't quitting. He would not quit. He was staying in there. Do you know what I mean? And he also fought back to finish the fight. But I favour him because the experience that he's had. I'm not saying that Conor can't win, but I'm just saying that he should. Leigh Wood should win the fight, shouldn't he? Through the experience that he's got. In terms of where I stand is that I've got Leigh Wood's number. I know I've beat Leigh Wood in the amateur. I beat him physically, mentally, emotionally. I felt like I beat him in every single department. And fight him again, improving even more. I think if I was to fight Leigh Wood, when I do fight Leigh Wood, if he keeps hold of the belt, I believe I'll stop him this time. I think I'll ruin him. I think I've just got his number. It's just one of them fights. That being said,
are you want to crack at the winner then? Obviously, you want to crack at the winner of McConnell and Leigh Wood?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's true. Right, I'm over here based in Ireland now, and I think if Conor wins the fight, it'd be amazing to fight in Ireland. It would actually be something that I'm really, really interested in doing, fighting in Ireland. The people here have accepted me. They've been kind to me, the Irish people. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. So the Irish,
he's not.
Yeah. The Irish people have been good to me, yeah. So that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice, and also Leigh Wood as well. I can't know. It's hard. I'm not to. I don't want to lay into Leigh Wood. You know what I mean? I'm just very confident in the situation. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's done amazing. He's done absolutely amazing. I've got nothing bad to say about him, really. Just believe and know that I beat him again, and it's hard to see someone who that you're better than win as a world champion.
Mm-hmm. But definitely, but again, Leigh Wood, his credit, he did lose to you in the Golden Contract, and he went on to face Reece Smold, who was an up and coming fighter, win that British title. Then you could argue that you said they went on to face Kanzu, who was a tough fighter. People was talking about how his punch variety and how when he punches he threw around, it'd be a difficult night for Leigh, but Leigh managed to get him out of there as well. So that was 2 TKO wins against 2 tough opponents after the loss to you. So his mindset and his mentally how tough he was to come back from that loss against you to go on and do that. You give him credit for that.
Yeah, not half. Yeah. Not half. And before me as well, he beat a great fight in David Overjuice.
That
was
right,
a great win for him in the Gold Contact, knocking him out too. He must be a big puncher to knock all these good fighters out, but I just didn't feel it myself. I don't know. When but people say he's a big puncher. I seen an interview that Conor did do about him, talking about. Conor said, I know he's a big puncher, but he's never felt his power, so how does he know? Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of people get carried away. When I was in there with him, people said...
Was that my interview with Mick, was it?
Probably, you're the main man. It was Mick's interview with you.
I can remember Mick saying that to me as well.
Yeah, well, how does he know he's a puncher if he's never felt his punches? You know what I mean? That's just the way fighting is, isn't it? People get this reputation and all that, but I don't know, and
well, listen, you're still there or thereabouts, Jazza. So it's, do you know what I mean? We're a new training team, refreshed, feeling good about yourself. I mean, we can chuck in Navarrete and Gary Russell Jr. because they're the other world champions in this division as well. So, like I said, the landscape is changing, and the fact that there seems like the 2 of the world titles, that WBA and that IBF title, seems to be hovering around the UK and Ireland shores for a long time now. And you're definitely up there with one of the top featherweights in Britain. Another win under your belt. You think you can get a crack? One more fight and get a shot?
Definitely, that's the plan. And get a good win in there. Somebody who's ranked or what? Because I know I'm above European level, but I haven't got a world ranking. When you lose your world title, you lose your world ranking, don't you? So now I'm somewhere around the top 10. Just need a fight to confirm that, and then stay in there for the European title. But it'd be good to get a fight in there and get to know me coach Peter and find out how we work together on the night. And yeah, I'm very looking forward to it, because I'm very optimistic, and something good's going to happen. I've got a great team around me. I know if anyone's going to get the shot, it will be me, because of the team that I've got around me, MTK Global and Tony Bellew. So I'm really, really looking at we've also got good news coming. Can't announce it yet, but good news coming with the future, what holds in my career and for the rest of the team, Jazza. So yeah, no, I'm optimistic about 2022.
So when that news is announced, I'll give you a text message and we'll get something organised. Finally, for me then, Jazza, what are your hopes this time next year, January 2023, me and you on the Zoom call again? What would you have achieved in the boxing game?
Yeah, this is turning into only Fields and Horses scene, isn't it? This time next year, brothers. Every single year I say that. This time next year I'll be world champion. But
next time this time, I'm millionaire.
I can't wait till I'm. this time last year, I'll be saying 2024. I'll be saying this time last year to you. So that's the plan. I want to stop saying this time next year. But yeah, hopefully the world title this year.
World title, definitely. Well, listen. Enjoy your time in Ireland, mate. Dublin. I know you're just making a lot of them sacrifices, because I know how big you are and your family and your kids and stuff like that. So, listen, it'll pay off. I'm sure it will. Stay safe. Keep training hard, mate. And good luck with any announcement that's coming up. And I'll speak to you soon, brother.
Thank you, Hans. Keep doing a good job. Tell Hans.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, Jazza. See you a bit.
Bye.